Hi, everyone. Thanks for attending my lightning demo today. I'm Paul, EVP of Enterprise Solutions at Ovation MR, the company behind Ethos. Today, I'm going to talk to you about Ethos and how it can be leveraged for product research. So I'm going to start off by sharing my screen real quick. The plan for this session is to spend around 4 minutes going through a few slides where I'm going to talk about Ethos, give you an overview of the platform. Then we'll touch more on the product research applications with a few customer use cases before we jump into the live demo, which will be around 10 minutes. So Ethos is an experience research platform. We're primarily app-based, so we're able to be with consumers wherever they are. So whether they're at home, using and testing products, in a store, at work, or somewhere in between, Ethos is always an arm's reach away. So that allows us to capture experiences as they happen and in the moment. So we're getting a really authentic real-world view of product interactions. You can capture both qualitative and quantitative data in a single study. So you can collect videos, pictures, text, but you can also assign quantitative data or quantitative tasks to help round out your data, like single choice, multiple choice, and scale-based questions. But our primary use case revolves around video, and video is really important to product research because we're able to capture the context of product usage, the environment in which it's happening, and also pick up on some of the unarticulated needs of consumers. And with Ethos's diary tool, we can conduct longitudinal studies and see how product usage changes or differs over time. A lot of products these days aren't just physical. We also have digital products that we need to understand. So Ethos has built-in screen recording capabilities, so you can see how people are interacting with your mobile apps and websites and desktop applications. So you can have participants record their screens while they speak their thoughts out loud. And because we are remote and then leveraging AI, we can conduct qual at a much larger scale than was previously possible. There's three main areas our customers are primarily using Ethos for product research, and that's product testing, innovation, and marketing. For product testing, our customers are using Ethos to understand and see if the products that they've developed are actually meeting the needs of consumers in real world settings. And they're also testing these products to ensure that there's no bugs or issues, usability problems before they bring them to market. In terms of innovation, Ethos is really great at identifying unmet needs. Since we're studying participants as they go about their everyday lives, we're able to see those moments where there's friction points and pain points that turn into the seeds of innovation. And then lastly, Ethos provides great marketing impact. So a lot of times marketing teams have initiatives to get closer to their consumers and their customers. And the best way to do that is by seeing live video of real world situations. So our customers are watching and using Ethos videos to create ads that better resonate and speak to consumers. Now I'm going to go over a few use cases from our actual customers. The first has to do with a digital product from a company called Tala, which is a fintech company that primarily is app-based. They wanted to study individuals who are less tech savvy and who are lower income, and they used Ethos to do a longitudinal study to understand their needs. And what this did is it allowed them to create some new features and offerings that better aligned with this audience. Another customer of ours, Lysol, recently developed a new product, Lysol air sanitizer spray. So their marketing team wanted to come up with some new ads, and they leveraged Ethos to see how their consumers were using this new air sanitizer spray in their homes so that they can create ads that better resonated with them. And then the last mini use case I'm going to talk about is with Massimo, which is a med tech company. This one's interesting because it involved a physical and digital product. These days, a lot of times, physical products have an accompanying app. And that's the case here, where they had a baby monitor that had an accompanying app. So they were able to use Ethos for product testing and beta testing before it went to market to identify bugs and to iterate on some of the design. Now that we covered how Ethos helps with product research and how a few of our customers have used the platform, let's jump in and take a look at how everything works. I'm now logged into Ethos as a researcher. I'm going to jump into a project that has some data in it. This study revolves around coffee drinking habits and routines, along with coffee products. So we have two main views. This is our moderator view, which I'll come back to in a moment. Our other view is a little more analytical in nature. This view organizes all of the entries by task. So with quantitative tasks, you get a nice little bar chart so we can see how many cups of coffee these participants are drinking per day. We ask them when, why, and where they typically drink their first cup of coffee. So since this is organized by task, I can scroll through all these responses to pick up on some themes and trends. As I scroll down, we'll see all of the tasks that were assigned to participants. We had them show their morning coffee making routine through a video, record what factors impact their decision to buy coffee, what types of coffee they typically buy. We even had them go into a store, find the coffee aisle, and talk us through how hard it was to find and what products stood out to them on the shelves. And not only did we have them visit a physical store, we also had them go onto Walmart's website and find a specific K cup. So you'll see a bunch of screen recordings here where we had participants record their screens as they went through that process. But I'm going to jump back over to the moderator view. So this is really good for asking follow-up probing questions to participants. Again, this is in chronological order. So the newest entries are in the top left, oldest entries are in the bottom right. You'll see all of our different task types represented here, from text, images with captions, screen recordings, videos, heat maps. So you can also present concepts and images to participants, have them mark them up with their likes and dislikes. But since we're looking at all of the responses right now, we give you several ways to drill down on the data through the filtering along the left. You could look at entries submitted by individual participants. You could just pull all of like the videos if you're interested in that. You could look at entries by day or time of day, all the entries submitted to individual tasks. You can assign star ratings to entries. So we typically use this to mark entries that we want to come back to later that we feel align well with our reporting. So we'll give those like 4 or 5 stars, but I marked a couple that we'll take a deeper look at. You can also include external participant data when you add participants into the system. So you can include demographic data, segments, and then you could also run filters based on that. You can do coding and freeform searches. So if I notice a participant is using a Keurig machine, and I want to see if any other participants have mentioned Keurigs, I can do a freeform search here for the word Keurig, and it'll crawl the entire project to see who else has mentioned that. But I'm just going to do a filter for some other entries. And each entry here is kind of just a sneak peek of what's inside. I can click on them to expand them and see their underlying details. So here we're looking at an image with a caption. And in this task, we had participants document a few coffee drinking moments throughout the week. So that's where we're looking at here. This participant took a picture of their coffee and said that it's their first coffee with their McMaster, and they added collagen and protein powder to it. So this is pretty interesting, and something we might want to ask a follow-up on. So we can actually hop over to the probes area, and this is where a moderator can ask a follow-up question. And we went in and asked, why are you adding collagen and protein powder to your coffee? And they responded, it helps boost cognitive function and helps with skin elasticity. So if I wanted to continue this conversation, I could send a message here, and the participant would receive an alert within the apps. And if they responded back to me, I would also get an alert as the researcher. Once you click on it, you're brought right where you need to be to respond. So if I hop back over to the description tab, we can go through coding real quick. So since part of the goal of this study was to come up with some new product ideas, we coded collagen and protein powder bud. We're using a simple bud rose thorn technique. So if I wanted to code something else, let's say coffee, a few different groups of codes would pop up. These are just ways to organize your codes. You could just work within one if you want. But here, Bud represents an innovative idea. Rose is something that's working well, and Thorn is a pain point. So I can go and toggle these on and off very easily to code and entry so that later on I can go over to the coding area and just find all of my entries that have potential product ideas in them. So that's really the traditional way to review and code entries. We'll take a look at a video entry now. All of our videos have automated transcriptions, and we run sentiment analysis on top of them to help you get quick reads. So you can, of course, play a video, you can trim it, take timestamp notes. But if I'm going through the sentiment analysis here, I can see that the participant thought this task was confusing. We had them go to Walmart's website, find a specific K cup, and add it to their cart. And while they did this, they spoke their thoughts out loud. So that's what this transcription is. And while this participant was doing it, they felt it was a little confusing and overwhelming, complex and annoying. So if you're reviewing all your individual entries, you can watch the videos, do coding, use the filters. But these days, it's really all about the AI. So our AI is called Instant Insights. And the way it works is you click Analyze Tasks. You choose which task you want to analyze. I'm going to go with purchasing factors. You can also select more than one task at a time, or you can select the entire project. But we'll just look at this individual task for now. You can also have it drill down based on segments and codes, but we'll run a general filter. Once you click the run filter, all the data from the response is going to be input here, where the next step you're going to want to take is selecting a prompt. So we have some predefined prompts in the system, and this is how we're telling the AI how we want it to analyze the data. We can have it identify the main themes, provide summaries, uh, come up with common pain points, but we also have the ability to add custom prompts. So if your research question doesn't align with one of these predefined ones, you can ask the AI to analyze the data any way you want. But for this task, we're going to have it identify the main themes and tell us how often it's occurring in the data. So it usually just takes a couple seconds for the AI to start doing its thing. So in this study, when participants are looking to buy coffee, the main things impacting their decision are price and affordability, followed by flavor and taste, and then convenience. And since this is generative I can actually interact with it, ask it follow-up questions. So if I'm working on my report, I can have it pull me a quote that best exemplifies theme two. So it really acts as another researcher you can bounce ideas off of. So that's how you can use Ethos for product research in a nutshell. If you have any follow-up questions or would like a more personalized demo, feel free to reach out to me at paul.chesterman@ethosapp.com. Thanks for checking out our session.